Hey everybody, welcome back to Isekai Cheat Magician, the series with my favorite character in all of Isekai in here, the Mage of Autumn. She is the best. She is such an amazing character. She is powerful, strong, she has a good fashion sense, and she has cool hair, and uh, she's a very deep and complex character. Man, Mage of Autumn, best person for the season. Anyway, jokes aside, hey everybody. My life is depressing. It's Tripl-L here to watch Isekai Cheat Magician episode 3. What am I expecting for this week? Well, honestly, I don't know. Last week I was pretty happy with moderately happy with the spirits thing. This week we have our main character looking off into the distance. He's going to become an adventurer, and there's a lot of potential for this to be really slow. Because if we're going to go into an arc that's just about him adventuring and it's not really building on anything, then it's not going to be the best thing in the world. So here's hoping, man. Here's hoping that it does something cool this week. But honestly, we might be going in for some pretty typical stuff. Oh, that's a good start, though. Little spirit, like, dancing around or laughing or giggling. Oh, well, that's a bit of a tease. Not gonna lie, like, the guy fighting a dragon, I just don't find human versus giant monster fights in anime to be that great. At least not with the isekais. It's just because it's hard to get choreography going well with it. It's different when you got, like, giant mech fights. Not with the isekais. Oh wow, a summons. Why are we so excited about that? We know you guys are special. Man, they look like they have a bit more bloom effect on their hair. Can you guys see it? Like when you were watching the episode? It just looks like their hair is glowing. Huh, I don't recall them glowing as much as they do now. It's like someone put a filter over the episode. I question the logic of having greenhorns getting involved in such a social diplomacy type quest, you know? I mean, it'll probably be fine with video game logic, but it's odd, you know? Making people... Well, I guess... No, I think it's odd. Okay, so here we're getting the link between the quest and the town life. You know, pumping up the stakes for the characters. You know, telling them, like, this is going to be bad for the people who live in the town. Of course you won't lose. You guys are freaking overpowered. Oh, a cloaked person. That's about what I expected out of them. You know, I feel like there's something weird about, like, the premise for this when it comes to the pricing increase, but I can't place it because I don't know the effects of economics that well. Ooh, well, they look cool. They were in the opening, so this is pretty neat. Oh, didn't crack the wall, so it wasn't that hard. The background music's pretty nice though. You should. Oh, there was a crack on the wall. Yeah, I didn't really feel like they were trying to kill them. It wasn't... Well, this is one of those issues where, like, the anime just didn't look like it was conveying the threat properly. Like, that was a pretty casual encounter from the way it looks in terms of the anime quality, right? Well, this is kind of cool. You know what's weird? You have an assassin. You have the assassin tied up. But you didn't bother to take off the face mask while you had her tied up. In what world do you not try to gain that information as soon as possible? And why does this girl not bite her tongue if we're talking about, like, how people treat assassins here? To be fair, I have my answers. The answers are very simply, it's a light fantasy. That's the answers. These are rhetorical questions, but the answer is simply, it's a light fantasy. You shouldn't expect that level of depth in a light fantasy. Okay, I see. So it's a two-pronged thing. There is, like, this shortage of things coming through, and then there's some stealing going on. Okay, so this bit just like, you know, reiterating that these two are special and that they're friends and that the harem is totally going. I remember last week people were saying like it's the girl and the elf girl. Oh man, I keep forgetting her name. I think it's Rin, but I don't want to say it and get it wrong. But yeah, you know, there's a lot of vibes going between them and it's like, yeah, I agree. Oh, the girl that looks like a fox in the background, she's the traitor here. That's what I would say if this was a more serious anime. Oh, that's not a girl. Oh, come on. No way. No. Maybe it's just some kind of weird magic going on. What is this magical power? That's a cool monster design. Oh, it's an orc? Oh, no. It's a big thing. Yeah, okay. Orcs and an ogre. I like how everyone's just looking at that guy. Oh man, like they're telegraphing it so hard. At least there's something weird with that white-haired guy. Man, that animation was amazing. I'm glad I got the name right. It is Rin. It's just there's so many isekais and so many names to remember. Oh, this is dark. Oh, this is kind of weird. Why are there people-shaped things there? Oh, okay, yeah. Alright. I liked her. I like it for how direct she was in what she was implying. I would like to know who those people on the ground are, though. If there's anything that this episode did, it's that it reinforced my thought that this is a very typical isekai, and it's also very light. But I need to reread a few spots here real quick. I need to reread this whole situation with this. Sudden drop in the number of wagons delivering food to the town. Scary rumors about how they... Okay, so he specified very clearly there that the wagon shortage is a big thing. Yeah, I'm just making sure because when Elf Girl shows up, it just kind of turns into they have to go deal with the Melia plot. And the Melia plot is just kind of... They make it seem a little bit separated, even though like they initially didn't seem separated. Okay, so here we are. We have the second part of this, where this girl is saying, we also have a harvest coming up, and there's people who've been robbing. And then they jump to the conclusion that the robbers are the ones causing such extreme shortages. Whereas... this just what we get there that it's a multi-pronged problem. Not only is someone attacking the caravans that are heading towards the city, someone's also stealing things at the source. Okay, it's just odd how like they frame it, because like the second half of the episode makes it feel like this is an isolated thing, whereas we still largely have the issue with whoever is messing the shipments up. Okay, whatever. Lots of stuff going on. I probably just confused because I missed something while I was watching the episode. I'm not gonna dive into it. I'm not gonna try and figure it out. It's just like the episode gave an impression for me the first time I watched it. It was just kind of weird. I'm not gonna make any criticisms about price going up when no one can barely afford it, because that's just easily like you could just argue that it's some kind of weird. The merchants wanted their profits, and so the guy has to make back whatever he spent to buy the fruit in the first place. Not going to argue that. That's probably like basic economics. I can explain that. But yeah, okay, overall, the episode. Well, we're kind of like moving through a plot line here. Like, I think it's a relatively safe start. Starting in the city and looking at the areas around it. I think that's relatively fair. I didn't think that we would be involved in a fruit stealing type of plot, in all honesty. I didn't think that's going to be where we're going to end up. I wasn't expecting that, just because, like, who would have thought? Apple thieves. That's pretty much what we're dealing with. Mind you, like, they're superpowered apple thieves, but still kind of funny. Anyway, on the other side, you could honestly say that the second half of the episode is where the more important... Well, no, because the first half had the whole thing with the assassins. And the assassins are worthwhile because that seems interesting, right? But then the second half, we have this white-haired character with the red scarf over here. And from the way that the episode's giving us cues, it's telling us, okay, we gotta be watching out for this character. Not only that, his design stands out compared to these other people. Heck, I'm not very sure if this is the guy in the opening. I don't remember the guy in the opening, but there's that one guy in the opening with the crazy face. This might be him. I'm not gonna go back to check. It might be him. I should probably go back to check. Not gonna do it. Gonna let myself keep a little bit of surprise. I forgot, so I'm not gonna go back on it. And then from Taichi and Rin, if anything, I think they acted appropriately in the episode. Right? Because they bungled up the diplomacy mission about as well as I thought they would, because they don't have tact for this. They don't have common sense of this world. They're kids that are basing everything off movies. So in terms of like I think a really nice thing there, as unfortunate as it is to watch, their lack of experience with dealing with situations was on full display here, and I think that's totally appropriate given that that's exactly what they are. My real question is just like, you know, you're putting on these guys onto like a relatively interesting mission, and you're just hoping that this is going to be a learning experience for them. And it's just, I question the Guildmaster's logic and everything, but also, given the way that he's not removing that woman's face mask, I also don't think he's very smart. So, you know what? Consistent. He's consistent. So in terms of the episode, I think it looked pretty alright. The art looked good. The animation was kind of so-so in some parts. It was a more or less stationary episode. There weren't too many moving parts. In terms of the plot progression here, I think we have an interesting quest. Like, interesting in terms of novel. I think the anime is kind of heavy-handed with the context clues as to what's going on here, but that's fine. It's a light fantasy, so it makes sense that it's going to be relatively heavy-handed. It has to make sure that younger fans are keeping up with it. I think the episode did really well playing Taichi and Rin's lack of experience really well. That was greatly appreciated. Miura the elf showing up was nice. We got some things reiterated. We just know that the girl feels that they're special. Honestly, we're already very sold on the relationship between the three of them, such that we don't need it to be reiterated. But it's not a terrible thing to have it there. If anything, it just makes you feel better about the friendship. I don't know. I think if you're someone that's really invested in the harem aspect, it's probably going to be fine for you. But it's also pretty, there's nothing really spectacular about the things that she's thinking about the two of them, right? It's a very straightforward line of thought. Let's see. In terms of other things going on, it's the bigger plot elements that are going to carry the show most likely. That being the girl at the end and maybe the white-haired guy. They're established here. We got the assassins. Like, those elements will be judged as we go on into the future. But as for the elements within the episode that are going to be standalone for this particular arc with the apple thievery and like the bandits, we got a lot of things being set up, and we just need to see how everything connects. Like Elf Girl mentioned it. She's not sure how all these different elements connect, and I think maybe it's going to be satisfying. When you have so many things up in the air, watching a show catch all those juggling balls, that can be very satisfying. So overall, a solid episode of Cheat Magician. Solid in the sense that we moved through a bunch of stuff. We set up the immediate goals for this arc. We had a really good, I think, character moment with the kids failing to some degree. I think that worked really well. And yeah, let me know what you thought down below, you guys. Let me know what you thought of the episode. I'm very interested to see, like, where are your expectations for this anime? Because at this point, it's largely, I know I've been saying it a lot, but it's largely typical. The things that it's doing, there's always going to be those few little shining spots where it's like, okay, that was implemented really well. But it's more or less following the conventions that this particular species of isekai has. So for me, if I was to say what kind of episode, what kind of series this would be for me myself, if I wasn't covering it on the channel, it'd just be a very casual series. Like I just put this on in the background whenever I have nothing else to do or I want to just like take a break. Like it's nice enough that it's easy to follow along and that you don't have to really think too hard about it. But I don't really see this as a compelling week to week, like, oh my god, I have to see the next episode the moment it comes out. I feel like I could go 6 weeks without watching any of this and then just catch up all the same. Heck, this might even be one of the ones where I only watched like 5 episodes and I just jumped to the end of, like, maybe to the last episode because, you know, what actually is going to be moving by the last episode of the season? How much things are we going to have cleared by the time we get to the 5th episode? Maybe just a few power upgrades, right? I don't find the internal world plot compelling at this point yet, but who knows? Maybe it gets better over time. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I still find it fun. I'll be watching it next week. I think I'll be able to watch anime consistently through to the end of August. So yeah, I think we'll be able to do it. Anyway, guys, till next time. Hope you have an absolutely great day or night. I don't know what time zone you guys live in, but yeah. Hasta la vista.